Hello everyone. Welcome to our channel. When a woman realizes she has lost a high-value man, that feeling is not simply about the absence of someone, but the loss of a part of herself. It's the moment when her heart and mind clash, where the pain arises not just from your departure, but from the understanding that someone like you, with unique qualities, is difficult to find again in a lifetime. In the world of Stoicism, accepting pain and learning from loss is the only way to grow. This feeling is not a fleeting shock. It triggers a complex series of reactions that anyone who experiences it cannot ignore. Everything she once took for granted, the things that seemed small, now become immense regrets. And all of this will become clearer when she begins to look back at everything truthfully. Join me as we explore this journey to understand her psychology better and why high-value men need to be aware of these aspects. 1. The initial shock and denial. When a woman realizes she has lost a high-value man, the first feeling is a powerful shock. It's a moment when everything seems to collapse, as she clearly understands that someone like you cannot be easily replaced. At this point, denial becomes a natural reaction. She may not want to admit that you are truly gone, and may try to convince herself that everything is temporary. Her ego and self-confidence might lead her to believe she can overcome it, but the reality is far different. This feeling is not just sorrow, but a deep sense of bewilderment. She begins to wonder if something went wrong and if it can be fixed. It's the moment when she starts revisiting every moment shared with you as a way of trying to explain it all. Stoicism teaches us that, in times of hardship, facing the truth and accepting reality is the only way to move forward. But for her, this shock is still too great to process immediately. 2. The comparison game. As the initial shock begins to fade, one of the next stages is the comparison game. In her mind, everyone around her, every man she meets, becomes a benchmark to compare with you. The qualities you brought to the relationship suddenly become apparent and irreplaceable. She begins to realize that not everyone can provide her with the sense of safety, respect, or calmness that you once did. Every person she meets is compared to the values you demonstrated. Stoicism advises us to view things from a realistic perspective, and in this case, she realizes that the valuable qualities you had are not something everyone possesses. She notices that other men lack the patience, stability, and vision you had. These are qualities that are hard to find, and they only deepen her sense of loss. This feeling isn't just disappointment, it's an indescribable yearning as she becomes aware that she overlooked the priceless things you brought into her life. Each comparison only makes her realize that she lost something truly valuable. 3. Regret and self-reflection. When she realizes she has lost a high-value man, the feeling of regret begins to become clear. She starts looking back at her actions, words, and decisions throughout the relationship. Things she once overlooked now turn into deep remorse. The unnecessary arguments, the lack of attention, or the time she failed to appreciate your sacrifices now feel like wounds in her mind. Stoicism teaches us that self-reflection is the key to understanding ourselves and growing. She starts confronting her mistakes honestly, recognizing that part of this loss was caused by her own actions. The feeling of regret goes beyond mere sorrow. It's a deep recognition of past mistakes. Questions like, "Why couldn't I appreciate him more?" or "I missed the chance to change everything," continuously surface in her mind. This is a painful stage, but also a crucial step for her to become aware and learn from her mistakes. It is during these moments of self-reflection that she begins to truly understand your value and the things she has lost. 4. The desire to reconnect. As regret and self-reflection reach their deepest point, a powerful feeling begins to emerge: the desire to reconnect. She doesn't just feel your absence, but also experiences a strong need to make things right, to have a chance to fix her mistakes and restore the relationship. It's not because she wants to save everything just to ease her pain, but because she realizes you are the only one who can help her become a better version of herself. Stoicism emphasizes the importance of understanding the value of what we have lost. And in this case, she begins to realize that you are not just a partner, but also a teacher, who showed her important lessons about patience, maturity, and self-respect. The feeling of losing you is not just about loneliness. but about losing someone who she knows could have helped her rise and grow. Thus, the desire to reconnect is not just about restoring what's been lost, but about the yearning to return to a better version of herself. She understands that if given the chance, she would not repeat her mistakes and would cherish you as someone truly valuable. However, this realization also brings the anxiety that it might be too late to change everything. 5. Acceptance and growth. After all the self-reflection and regret, she reaches an important stage: acceptance. This is not submission, but the realization that some things cannot be changed. She understands that once an opportunity is gone, it will never return. Stoicism teaches us the strength of acceptance. Instead of trying to alter the past, we learn from those experiences to grow. She understands that losing you is the result of past choices, and now it's an opportunity for her to grow both in relationships and in life. When she accepts the loss, it marks a turning point for her to rebuild her life, not by forgetting, but by growing from these lessons. Stoicism has taught her that in challenges, we find the strength to rise. This growth not only makes her stronger, but also allows her to gain a clearer understanding of her self-worth and future relationships. 6. The remaining signs. Although she has accepted the loss, the signs of the past are not easily erased. The memories, the emotions that once bound you to still linger in her mind, like ghosts that can't be forgotten. These signs could be familiar songs, places you once visited, or even unfinished conversations. Stoicism reminds us that these signs are not a symbol of weakness, but an opportunity to recognize the lesson and grow from the experience. She begins to understand that while these lingering signs might bring a sense of emptiness, they cannot take her back to the past. Instead, she learns to accept them as part of her self-discovery and growth journey. Each sign becomes an opportunity for her to reflect, learn, and continue on the path of freedom and self-development, rather than allowing the past to hinder her progress. Stoicism teaches that embracing these signs is the way for her to free herself from the constraints of the past and create a stronger future. Rather than worrying or trying to avoid these signs, she learns to turn them into a source of strength, driving positive change within herself. 7. The growing sense of emptiness. When she realizes that she has lost an important part of her life, a sense of emptiness gradually starts to take over her soul. This isn't just the absence of you, but the lack of a deep connection, a true love that she once had. Stoicism points out that this feeling of emptiness is not a sign of weakness, but rather a signal for her to reflect and gain a deeper understanding of herself. It's an opportunity to confront these inner voids and begin to fill them with growth and personal development. This sense of emptiness seems impossible to ease. Despite trying to find joy through new hobbies or connecting with other people, she can't shake this feeling. New encounters or changes around her only make her more aware of the lack she's experiencing. However, Stoicism shows that this is precise when she needs to accept these emotions rather than avoid them. These empty feelings are an opportunity for her to reassess her values and goals in life. With no one by her side, she begins to realize the importance of self-care and self-love. Over time, she learns that emptiness is not a permanent void, but a stepping stone to rebuilding relationships and desires in a stronger, more independent way. 8. Realizing the depth of mistakes. As she faces the pain of loss, the mistakes she made become clearer than ever before. The hasty decisions, the harsh words, or the thoughtless actions she took now surface like unhealed wounds. Stoicism teaches us that mistakes are not shameful, but opportunities to learn and grow. She realizes that each mistake brings a valuable lesson if she can approach it with a calm mindset. Recognizing her mistakes is not just about regret. It's a process of self-awareness, discovering more about herself to understand the decisions that led to the breakup. She begins to understand that her lack of attention, her oversized ego, or her lack of understanding pushed you away from her life. Stoicism encourages us not to avoid responsibility, but to face the choices we've made head-on. She understands that these mistakes are not just personal failures, but opportunities for self-improvement, learning to become better and appreciating what truly matters. Realizing the depth of her mistakes helps her not only understand herself better, but also make changes for the future. so she doesn't repeat the same mistakes again. 9. The desire for self-improvement. When she realizes her mistakes and faces the feeling of loss, a powerful desire begins to emerge within her, the desire to change and improve herself. This is not a superficial motivation, but a deep commitment to becoming a better version of herself. Stoicism teaches that every challenge in life is an opportunity for growth, and facing loss is no exception. She recognizes that in order to avoid repeating past mistakes, she needs to mature more, learn how to control her emotions, and develop inner strength. To attract someone like you again, she understands that the most important thing is to change from within. This involves not only learning new skills or changing habits, but also nurturing self-awareness and calmness in every situation. Stoicism encourages acceptance, but it also drives action to improve oneself. She starts seeking methods, materials, or even people who can help her become a better person. With each step of development, she realizes that change is not an immediate reaction, but a long-term process that requires patience and effort. She understands that self-improvement is not just about erasing past mistakes, but about mastering oneself to build lasting and happy relationships in the future. When we face loss, especially when we realize the value of someone who was once by our side, the most important thing is to learn to grow from it. Just as Stoicism teaches us, accepting and learning from pain is the first step in building a stronger, more resilient life. Are you ready to reflect on the values you bring and learn from your mistakes? Share this video with those who can recognize the valuable lessons here. And don't forget to subscribe to the channel and turn on notifications so you don't miss out on more helpful content. Thank you for joining me, and I wish you a meaningful and transformative journey ahead. In this video, we dive deep into the emotional journey a woman goes through when she realizes she has lost someone of high value. Using the principles of Stoicism, we explore how emotions like shock, regret, and longing unfold, and why it's crucial for high-value men to understand these feelings. By embracing Stoicism, men can learn the importance of accepting the pain of loss and growing from it, ensuring they don't make the same mistakes again. Watch now to gain insights into emotional maturity, personal growth, and how high-value men can apply Stoic philosophy to improve their relationships.